to the Trash Taste Podcast, the podcast where we talk about all the things that some people might consider trashy but we think are just too good to ignore. I'm your host, Connor.
And I'm Don.
And I'm Joy.
Today we're going to talk about music that sounds like just beeps and boops.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of requests to talk about this kind of music, so we decided to bring in a special guest to help us out.
That's right, we have Bocchi, a novice guitarist with a small YouTube following, who is going to tell us all about what makes this kind of music so special.
Hey Bocchi, thanks for joining us. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your music?
いや、これ買ったはいいんですけど、1日で挫折して今から質屋さんに売りに行くとこだったんです。
So, Bocchi, some people might say that this kind of music is just a bunch of random noises and not real music. What would you say to those people?
もっとふさわしい人にこのギターを使ってもらって大空へ羽ばたいてほしくて。
But don't you think that this kind of music is just a trend and it will eventually fade away?
私は全然弾けません。すみません。何円で売れるか。
But you have to admit it's not as accessible as more traditional music. Don't you think that's a problem?
今日は焼肉だ。
Sorry, Bocchi, I didn't push too hard. We appreciate you being here and sharing your perspective with us.
ごめんなさい。君のことも忘れてないよ。許して。
Yeah, Bocchi's music is truly one of a kind, and we're glad you could share it with us today.
And we hope our listeners will give it a chance and explore new sounds and music. That's really inspiring, Bocchi. Your music is truly one of a kind, and we can see how much passion you put into it. Thank you for sharing with us today.
Thanks for listening to the Trash Taste Podcast. We'll be back next week with more trashy goodness.
The Trash Taste Podcast is produced by your production company and is brought to you by your sponsors. Be sure to subscribe and leave us a rating and review on your preferred podcast platform. See you next week.